took, Christian Cole said, to the woods. They took off to the woods. They hauled ass to the woods, bro. They hauled ass. I'm telling you, bro. Christian Cole, he hauled ass to that woods so fast, you would have thought Alicent must have had her legs open in the woods. The way he ran. But, because all of this could have been avoided if the stupid Targaryen kings could just come up with some original names for their children instead of using the same damn names over and over. If the Targaryen kings would just come up with some original names instead of using the same damn names over and over again, then we wouldn't have this problem. So I fought the kings. I fought Viserys. I'm back. Did you miss me? House of Dragon, Season 2, Episode 3. Yeah. Season 2, Episode 3, House of Dragon, The Burning Meal. Right? The Burning Meal. And this is a good, excellent episode, man. Episode. The saga continues, man. Excellent, bro. This is a really good episode, man. But first things first, though. I want to recognize this, though. This episode, this show, man, if you watch the original Game of Thrones, then you know in the original episode, the original Game of Thrones series, there were no dragons. They were just mythical creatures that people talked about. It's just basically they were like folklore. And right now we're in just a great spot in this the whole Game of Thrones series period where we get to see these dragons. And there are a lot of dragons. It's just full of dragons. And what we have to recognize is we're at a point now where we're slowly going to start seeing the elimination of all the dragons. Okay? I know one I can think of already, Luke. Luke lost his dragon last season, right? When Aemon chased him down. And coming up in these next episodes, the next episode title is called The Dance of Dragons. And if anybody know anything about Game of Thrones, we know what's about to go down. They talk about the Dance of Dragons. So going forward, we just really want to soak this in. Where we get to see these great, big, beautiful dragons. Okay? But with that being said, we got to get to what's going on here. Because look, let me tell you something. Alright, Daemon Targaryen, he flies into Harrenhal, the great Harrenhal. If you know anything about Game of Thrones, Harrenhal is been visited throughout the thing of Game of Thrones. It was in the Tyrion Lannister was there back in Game of Thrones days. You had Arya Stark. She went and hid out at Harrenhal for a little while. Then the season 1, the very first episode, the king before Viserys, the Targaryen king before Viserys, he was there announcing his lineage at Harrenhal. Aegon the Conqueror, I'm going to come back to Aegon the Conqueror at the end. Aegon the Conqueror flew his dragon down there and tore up Harrenhal. Still to this very moment that we're seeing Harrenhal is raggedy as hell. Raggedy. I've seen Section 8 houses in better condition than Harrenhal is right now. But with that being said, it's still the place of the Strongs. The Strongs is running things. Well, what's left of the Strongs, they running things. And that old man Strong, he didn't waste no time. He didn't F around with Daemon. Aemon flew down to up on Harrenhal. He flew down there, landed. He came down the hallway, the creepy hallway. He took his sword, slashed a few guards, and when he walked in that door, old man, Strong, the old man, he knelt down so easy. I think Aemon thought it might have been a trap because they just kneeled down so easy. And look, that old man, he got some sense, But moving on to the council of idiots at King's Landing. We got the council of idiots at King's Landing with Sir Simcoe and Aegon II. Between Sir Simcoe and Aegon II, they gonna burn the ram down in no time. Cause they some, like Otto said, there's some idiots. Like Otto Hightower said himself. I agree with him. Yeah, so they have this little meeting. And they leave the after the meeting, Sir Simcoe, he about to ride off to, well, first of all, at the meeting, Sir Simcoe and Aegon demanded that Sir Simcoe, that's what I like to call him, but it's now Criston Cole. He takes some of his guys and they go take Harrenhal. They insisted they go take Harrenhal because everybody know whoever controls Harrenhal can control the riverways, and whoever control the riverways can have an upper hand in the war. So of course, Alicent, that Lannister guy who's over the Minister of Corn, and all the different people at the council, they trying to talk some sense into Sir Criston Cole and Aegon II, dumbasses, but they ain't listening. They want war. They want bloodshed. They want, all that pump. They want to go into all. They want to have their moment to shine in war and all that. So here we are, Sir Criston Cole, and he's mounting up to go to Harrenhal, right? To ride off to Harrenhal. But before he leaves, Alicent introduces her he seems like a man of high lineage, the way he carries himself, Alicent's brother. And she tells Sir Cole that, letting her know that her brother's going to tag along. Sir Cole, he don't look too happy about that. But the interesting thing from this is what I noticed is how Sir Simcoe asks for her handkerchief, to wish her well and that little chivalry stuff or whatever. And Alicent's brother, he noticed that. He took heed to that. But I think that was very careless on Sir Simcoe's part. I think that was one of his part of what I like to call him Sir Alpha Cole moments, where he getting the cooch. And he's the hand of the king, and he's smelling himself. He's feeling himself a little too much, and I know that that's going to lead to Sir Criston Cole, his demise. And I'm hoping, well, I ain't going to say I'm hoping, but I'm thinking we're going to see that this season. Sir Criston Cole, I'm calling it now. He going to get killed off this season. I see it coming. But anyway, I just thought that her giving her handkerchief to him before he left and all that, and her brother noticed that behavior they had between, that exchange they had between each other. I think that was just dumb on his part. Alicent knows it, and Sir Cole is just dumb. So we want to pay attention. It's just something that I noticed. And as they rolled out, the camera panned to what was left of Cheese. We had a crow picking out an eyeball. Cheese was hanging up there. The rat catcher, Cheese, his remains is still hanging up there. And a doggone crow was having the last supper with his eyeball. So, I mean, when somebody, please, Aegon, he's too stupid. He's stupid enough to let the bodies just hang up there. Can somebody please cut Cheese down? Please, man. That was disgusting what we saw. Moving on. The scene between Alicent and her daughter. It was interesting to me. Now, I know what a lot of you thinking with this scene. A lot of you were thinking that with this scene, okay, Alicent's daughter, when she said, "I forgive you, mother." I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that she's saying, "I forgive you," riding Sir Criston Cole while my son's head was getting cut off. I know that's what you're thinking. She forgives her for that. That's not what I think she's saying. You got to remember, her daughter. Let me get her name, because I want to be specific here. Her daughter. That's her daughter right here, Queen Helena. Okay. Her daughter, Queen Helena, is an oracle. She can see the future. I want you to catch this here. Y'all thought that she was talking about, "I forgive you, mother, for being a whore and riding Sir Criston Cole and while my son's head getting cut off." No. That ain't what it's. My personal opinion, I don't think that's what she was saying, "I forgive you" for. I think she was saying she forgives her for what perhaps what Alicent is going to do in the future, or something that Sir Criston Cole is going to do in the future, which Alicent has enabled Criston Cole to do. Maybe she's saying, "I forgive you," because at the end of this episode, something very important is realized. A mistake that Alicent made is realized. I'm going to talk about that at the end. But maybe she's saying, "I forgive you for that mistake, that big mistake that Alicent made," that we're going to talk about at the end of the very last scene. But I think it's something like that, because her daughter's an oracle. And she seems to have recovered pretty good after the death of her son recently. But we'll see. Moving on to the idiot king here. We got Aegon, what's the word I'm looking for? The Aegon with low self-esteem. I can't think of that word, but Aegon with his low self-esteem self. Moving on to this idiot. You got Aegon trying on Aegon the Conqueror's armor and his stupid little goofy little King's garment, which are really just his drinking buddies. They all a bunch of giggling fools. And Aegon's about to ride out with Sir Criston Cole, right? He about to ride out and he's about to mount up. But here comes the Sir Cleftfoot, a.k.a. Larry Strong, the King of Whispers. Here come old Clubfoot, right? And a lot of you people don't understand. It really ain't that Sir Larry's got a clubfoot. He's limping around because that foot is where he store all the mess. Cause here he come in there with a bunch of messy lies to just stir up mess at King's Landing. That's what that clubfoot about. He limping around carrying all the mess. Cause here he comes in here and he lies to. I don't know. Yeah, I would consider it a lie. He paints two different pictures. He paints a picture of, yes, you're the king, Aegon, looking courageous, going out to fight a war. And then also he says King Aegon being fooled by Alicent and his brother Aemon, who are really running the kingdom while he's gone. And that's enough to... some people might say that he told him that lie to keep the king in King's Landing because he's too valuable to allow him to go out and do that. But no. I think that Larys... Well, for one, here's the thing about Larys. I don't know why Larys is doing this exactly. Because this will make it the second time that he's lied to King Aegon to get him to change his mind. Remember, the first lie he told him was a lie to get he got King Aegon to fire Aldo Hightower, his granddad, fire him as the king hand. Now we have the second lie that he's told to get Aegon to stay at King's Landing. This is the second lie in a row that he's told the king to make him alter his decisions. And you have to wonder, why is he doing it? I'm interested to know what exactly is his motivation. Is it to gain power? Is it to is he jealous of Aegon because Aegon got 2 good feet and Larys only got 1? Or is it maybe because he's actually jealous of Alicent's relationship with Sir Criston Cole, the simp? I choose the latter. Sometimes, even though these people are so smart and devious and all this and that, sometimes it's the most simple, elementary answer. But we're going to find out the real reasons behind Sir Larry Strong, Lord Larry Strong, the clubfoot, why he's doing what he's doing. And I'm interested in finding it out personally. That's the kind of stuff we're only going to find out. We got to keep watching, right? And then moving on to, we're still in King's Landing, but moving on down to the peasant whorehouse, okay? You got this guy claiming he's a Targaryen bastard, right? You got this guy claiming he's a Targaryen bastard. And with some gray hair. And who knows? I mean, he claims that he's Viserys' brother. Viserys and Daemon's brother, and he's the uncle of Rhaenyra, the true queen, right? That's supposed to be queen. I know we saw him back in that previous episode 2, when he was looking up at the rat catchers who were hung. So, and here he is again. And I don't know, he might just be some drunk guy ratting off at the mouth. But we know Game of Thrones, this is in the show for a reason, and it's going to come back around, okay? We're going to figure out later what it's really about. But we got to go to what's really going on, what really happened in this scene. All right? So you got Aemon II with his sorry self. He come with his drunk ass, come in there with his drunk buddies, the king's guard. They come in there because he want to take this. It's the specific whore that he like his buddies to get them to break their virginity with this specific whore, right? Now this is the same whore that Aegon took his little brother Aemon to years ago. Now Aemon got some type of psychological thing going on with this woman, because he still to this day comes back to this whore. And he gets butt naked and just lay with her, and she holds him like a baby, and he acts like a little bitch or something, like in her arms, and he confides in her and all this kind of stuff. So happens, Aemon. Now hold on, before I go any further, what's up with that psychology with him and that whore? It's like he talks to her and confides in her like she's a mother figure or something. So could it be that he still has resentment for Alicent, his mother, and he really searching for that true mother figure? That's why he confides in a whore? I don't know. I mean, going forward, that's going to be interesting to see the moves that Daemon make, though, because Daemon gets up, and basically he tries to act like he doesn't care about the whore, and he walks off butt naked and walks, in front of everybody butt naked and everything like he don't care. Which really, deep down, we know that that's his way. Deep down, he really does care, because who acts like that? I mean, whoever acted, the way he acted, it confirmed to us that he really do care about that woman, because he walked off, a whore's a whore, like he don't care about the woman, but he really do. But in that one eye that he had left, I saw vengeance in that one eye. Okay? I saw vengeance. And I feel like Aemon gonna get it. You gotta watch out for Aemon. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta be on the lookout for that. Now, after this scene, you got Alicent, back to Sir Criston Cole and Alicent brother. They out in the middle of the field where people can see them. And Sir Criston Cole was trying to tell Alicent brother, look, fool, we are out in the middle of nowhere. Anything can happen to us. We're vulnerable. Anything can come. Something can fly by. A dragon can fly by and burn us to crisps or whatever. And sure enough, here comes the little dragon, the one that Rhaenyra told her, I guess you say that's her stepdaughter, because that's Aemon's daughter. Told her to fly and be on the lookout around King's Landing, and that was her, but she was on the little dragon. Her dragon small, and they took Criston Cole said to the woods. They took off to the woods. They hauled ass to the woods, bro. They hauled ass. I'm telling you, bro. Criston Cole, he hauled ass to that woods so fast you would have thought Alicent must have had her legs open in the woods the way he ran. But I mean, hey, he ran. I ain't seen Criston Cole haul ass like that never in this show. Never. You would have. Alicent must have been there. I mean, you would have thought she was in there waiting on him. Alicent was in there waiting on him like this. You would have thought that. I mean, anyway, enough. But Daemon's dream, right? Remember, we had, a lot of you might not know this, but Harrenhal is known for having a lot of like mystic, spooky type energy. If you go back to the scenes when Daemon flew to Harrenhal, landed on Harrenhal, it's always raining there, and it's kind of Harrenhal is always been known to be kind of cursed and have like some spooky energy there, and it is fitting that the River Lady, what's the lady name? The River Lady told Aemon that you're gonna die here, and she's one of the strong women there. She told him that you're gonna die here, and of course he has this vision. He has a dream, right? Right? And basically, when it comes to that dream, I'ma just tell you. That dream, he has a dream where he's basically the vision that I saw that he had. There are two things that we're gonna get out of this dream that Daemon had at Harrenhal. There's two things that we know. Number one, we know that he has a guilty conscience, and number two, we know that he has a hankering for underage cooch. And the reason that I say that, because as you know, in the dream, it's a dream of the young version of Rhaenyra, and she's holding her nephew whose head was cut off in episode 1, the little nephew, and she's stitching the head back up, basically saying, "I always have to clean up behind you," right? So that dream was very interesting. It showed Daemon, having a conscience and having guilt for what he's done, because Daemon has done so many heartless things. I mean, his first wife, remember, he killed his first wife in a very harsh way at that. I mean, Daemon has done so much, and by them showing that he has guilt and little things like this, this probably is we're getting ready to say goodbye to Daemon Targaryen. He might not make it out of this next episode, or maybe the next 2 episodes at best. I think Daemon Targaryen is going to meet his end. That's just my feeling, but we'll have to see. I mean, we'll just see how it goes. But what brings us to, I will have to say, the most important scene of this episode. And the thing about this scene, number one, this last scene was done so well. It was done extremely well. And it was done extremely well. And I even watched this last scene twice. The second time I watched it with my closed caption on. But this scene was just done so well. And this scene basically it tells us one thing. The most important thing that we get out of this scene is, well, for one thing, it shows how these people their communication, I mean, they communicate like a dysfunctional marriage. The only difference is the difference in the marriage is, a family is destroyed. But in this, with the Targaryens, not only is a family destroyed, all the Westeros is destroyed. Because at the end of the day, because of their lack of communication and because of their misunderstanding, the whole realm is about to be on fire. Dragons about to die. Probably thousands of people are about to die. This is crazy. And it all is because it's all because if a doggone basically let me just go into detail. Okay, so they go back and forth talking their little stuff, and we know the history that Alicent and Rhaenyra have, and basically Alicent, she does her little high and mighty stuff, and she gets Rhaenyra to kind of feel second guess herself and feel bad about her wanting to be on the throne. And Alicent almost pretty much convinced her that her father Viserys actually changed his mind on the deathbed, because Alicent just hammers home. He said Aemon. He chose Aemon to sit on the throne. So Rhaenyra, out of curiosity, said, "What was his words? What did he say?" And she said, "A prince was promised." Let me say it again. She said a prince was promised. You idiot, Alicent. So Rhaenyra, I had to get that out, sorry. So Rhaenyra's like, a prince's promise? He was reciting the Song of Ice and Fire. He was reciting that story, which basically talks about it's on the blade that the kings carry around, and you pass it to king, and it's basically warning of the Night King coming, which we gonna see in the original Game of Thrones series. When the Night King comes, they have to fight the Night King. But that's what he was saying. Basically, you had Viserys. He was just, because right before Alicent talked to him and he died, and he said that to Alice, Rhaenyra was in there, and he was talking to Rhaenyra, who he had said he wanted to take the throne. And remember when he got Rhaenyra when she was a little girl in season 1, and he lit the blade up and told her about the Song of Ice and Fire and about the Night King coming and all that. We have to prepare for winter's coming. Okay, this Viserys, this old son of a gun, he was probably hopped up on that milk of the poppy. And he probably thought that Rhaenyra was still in there. He didn't know that was Alicent he was talking to. And he was reciting the Song of Ice and Fire to her, a prince's promise. And he mentioned Aegon. But he was talking about Aegon the Conqueror, Alicent. He was talking about Aegon the Conqueror, not Aegon the Second, his son. That's what he was talking about. And you can see it in Alicent's eyes and Rhaenyra's face. The acting is done so well that they both realize that a mistake has been. That's the moment they realize. Alicent realized the mistake that she committed. But true enough with Alice, she got to stick to the lie. And I understand Alice to a certain extent, because Alicent, she recited. She said everything's in motion. Aemon. Aemon wants revenge. Daemon. She started naming all the people in play. There's no turning back for this. Plus, Alicent doesn't have any control on the throne anymore. She doesn't have any control. There's nothing really Alicent. I don't know. Alicent might could think of something to do. Now, personally, I think Alicent heard what she wanted to hear. But I give it to her. Maybe she made a mistake. But I'm not going to say the biggest mistake was made by Alicent. That's right. I said it. I know a lot of you thinking, oh, Alicent, she made the big mistake because she heard Aegon and she thought Aegon the Second, and Viserys was really talking about Aegon the Conqueror. And that's Alicent. I know people are going to put it on Alicent, but I don't think that's the problem. I put it on Viserys. And I put it on all them Targaryens. Because all of this could have been avoided if the stupid Targaryen kings could just come up with some original names for their children instead of using the same damn names over and over. If the Targaryen kings would just come up with some original names instead of using the same damn names over and over again, then we wouldn't have this problem. So I fought the kings. I fought Viserys. They got all these same names. Aegon the Conqueror, Aegon the Second, Joffrey. What's some of these other names they use? The same damn names they use over and over. Hell, look at Rhaenyra now. You got Rhaenyra. Then you got her auntie, Viserys' sister, Rhaenyra, and all that. I mean, Viserys. You got, there's another name that sounds like Viserys. They are, hell, all these Targaryens, they use the same damn names over and over again. So, hey, it is what it is. I digress. But moving forward, the next episode next week is called The Dance of Dragons. So get ready, folks. You know what that means. When the dragons start dancing, we're probably going to lose a dragon. Okay? This isn't the predictions. We're probably going to lose a dragon. I say we're going to lose at least one dragon. And I think we're going to lose what's Rhaenyra auntie name? Rhaenyra auntie is named Rhaena, Lord Corlys' wife. I think we're going to lose her. I mean, I don't know. But the reason I suspect her is because if you notice this past episode, we got a real good shot, a close shot of her and her husband, Lord Corlys, talking when they were next to his ship that they're rebuilding, and they had an intimate moment where they were close to each other talking, and he was trying to get Lord Corlys to change up his lineage or whatever, who he leave his lineage to or whatever. But even before then, if you look at these first 3 episodes, every episode, Rhaenyra, her aunt, Rhaenyra's aunt, I think her name is Rhaena or whatever. She's been getting a lot of scenes. Remember the episode before this one? She had a scene where she was laying in bed with her husband, Lord Corlys. So for her to be getting all these close-up scenes and stuff like this, I think that's their way of saying goodbye to her. I think we probably gonna lose her this next episode, and we're gonna lose a dragon. Okay. So let's get ready, folks. Like this last meeting that we had here with Alicent and Rhaenyra is pretty much saying it's on and popping. It's on and popping from here on out, and we know what's going to happen. It's the dancing of the dragons. There's not going to be one dragon left standing. It's all going down. Thousands of people will be dead. Hell, probably at least half of the Targaryen family going to be dead. It's finna go crazy, and I'm all ready to watch it. But we know what's going to happen. If you watch the original Game of Thrones, there are no spoilers. I know people like to holler spoilers. There ain't no spoilers. You watch the original Game of Thrones series, you know what happens. You know what happens. Them Targaryens are crazy, but I digress. Share, like, comment, okay? Until next time.